I think every week the production value of this goes down. But I told you I don't need production value. I don't need all the what is it called, the glitz and glamour that people have to make a podcast, to talk, right? When you're spitting what I'm spitting, right? When you're spitting the truth, when you're spitting gold, right? When I'm giving you gold on a platter, it shouldn't matter where it's coming from. And if you can only take gold from men wearing a suit with top production, with the top camera and all that, then that's on you. I don't put that on me. That's on you. That says more about you than it does me. But me, I'm above that, right? I listen to all, and if it's good, I'm gonna take it. But if you can't do that, that's on you. Okay, that's on you. This is the, post-fight reaction show. Lefty, he's got the overreaction show. I think this is the appropriate reaction show. This is the way you should feel, how you should feel about the fights we saw. And we just saw 2 Fight of the Year candidates. And you hear, like I said, I'll beat the drum on this. 50-50 fights. We need more 50-50 fights. We need more 50-50 fights. That's why boxing's hurting. That's why UFC's killing it, because they give you 50-50 fights. Well, we had a 50-50 fight last weekend. We had 50-50 fight, 2 50-50 fights this weekend. And I guarantee the people didn't watch it. And no one even commented. There's people that say all these complaints and like that. They didn't say, oh, well, what a great weekend for boxing. They didn't say that, did they? No. They kept quiet, right? They kept quiet. And they didn't have a fake controversy to get mad about and yell at their phone about, right? Or to get on Twitter and just start click-clacking on there, right? About a fake controversy, right? A judge gone wrong. You can't get a fair judge in England, or your referee, tried to rob this guy, or, the fight shouldn't have been stopped. One of those things. It was no fake controversies. No fake controversies. Now, maybe the Ben Davison should have stopped or not, but I don't think that's not really a controversy. That's just, a decision made. But let's talk about that fight first, right? Let's talk about Leigh Wood versus Lara, Mauricio Lara. In a fantastic fight, and in a fight that was going to be Wood's best performance to date. Up until the point where he gets slept, it was his best performance. And he did it on the way that I thought he was going to do it, was moving around the ring. He doesn't have the best defensive guard, right? But people forget that he didn't really start sitting down and punches more until recently. And he used to be more move around the ring and win on points type of guy. And he just looked good in this fight. He looked good. He wasn't giving Lara the right opportunities to capitalize, right? He was keeping the fight at his pace. Now, at times it would fall apart for him, but he would get it back. He would always get it back. Even the shots that he took and he would be hurt, he always get it back. He always get it back in order. And he was moving, and he was hitting Lara with big shots, and Lara was definitely getting hurt, and Lara was definitely putting a good poker face together, because he was rocked multiple times in that fight. But there was the left hook that kept landing for Leigh Wood that was a surprise to me too. I was like, oh, that left hook is pretty effective. And the thing is boxing, it's so mental, and it's so like, you need to stay focused, right? And you need someone to tell you, the left hook's working, but it's working when you're hiding it behind stuff, right? It's not just like, I'm throwing the left hook. But he was getting so confident with it that he at one point decided to do what, they say don't do, right? Everyone knows this, watch boxing. You don't hook with a hooker. And really what that means is not just that punch, but it's just basically what that means is like, in the old West, the Wild West days, the fastest hands, right? The guy's dueling, got the fastest hand, the guy, boom, he gets you. And you're not going to beat that guy's fastest hand. And really what it just means is that if you're going to challenge someone, don't challenge them at their best punch. And Mauricio Lara has one of the best left hooks in boxing, and that's his best shot. And when you're not going to hide your left hook, and you're just going to say, I'm going to go with my left hook, and you're going to go with your left hook, and let's just see who wins. Well, we already know who's going to win that. And that should have been the number one game plan, the thing you're not going to do if you're Leigh Wood. But he did do it. And as soon as he did do it, his leg stopped working. Now, the stoppage, there was only 12 seconds left. Now, I don't know if Ben Davison heard the clock was 12 seconds left. I think if he just saw Leigh Wood and how he was stumbling over the place, it's not insane to think we got to stop this fight. I personally, what I was thinking was like, I've seen him in this situation before against Conlon. It's late in the fight, but I know as watching it, because I can see the clock. I don't know if the judge, the corner can see the clock, but I'm thinking, let me see what he can do, right? Because I've seen him come back from being dropped viciously before. Let me see what he can do. They didn't do that. They didn't give him that opportunity. I mean, like I said, I personally thought they could have let him keep going, try to figure it out, but he was out. And most likely, if you continue and Lara lands again, he goes back to sleep. I'm Lara won the fight. There's no controversy to me. Just, is he going to forgive his corner for that stoppage? Lara wins. Lara's the best guy, 126 pounds, right? He's number one. And when I'm doing my rankings in a weight division, it ain't off potential. It's off work done. And Lara has Warrington, and now he has Leigh Wood. And Leigh Wood had beat Conlon and Zucan, and Lara had beat Warrington, and Warrington was the champ at that weight for a long time and had a credible list of people that he had beaten. So he definitely has the best work there, right? Ray Vargas may be second. Mauricio Romero is trying to, is the guy with maybe the most potential in the weight class. Navarrete left the weight class. So I think that Lara is the number one guy at 126. I don't know how you could counter against that. Now, going forward, Leigh Wood, of course I want to see, don't mind seeing that fight again. I wouldn't mind seeing him fight Josh Warrington. I think that's a hell of a fight that you could make. But if they run it back, or even Lara and Warrington got into it after, and Warrington spit. I mean, Lara spit in Warrington's direction. Well, that fight's got hype now. It's got build up, and that'll be number 3, right? And it's kind of like unfinished business in a way. So 126 is in a great spot, and I think Lara's number one guy in it. Now you go to the fight at night, and you had Nery versus Crazy A, and in a fight that I said that was going to steal the show, and it ended up stealing the show. It ended up stealing the show the night of another great fight. So, like I said, great fights all around. And in the fight when Crazy A and Nery, Nery was the more skilled guy. He had more ability, and we could do more things in the ring. Crazy A is all mentality, and I've watched Crazy A spar many years. When I was in Wildcard, I watched him spar many years, and he is a mentality fighter. He spars, the way that fight was, he spars like that 3 days a week. And when he trains, he may not necessarily be training technical stuff or strategy. He's more training his mentality, right? He's more training that he's going to get in there, get after you, and go try to take it from you. And that's what he did in this fight. Because when it was skill to skill, Nery was winning that part of the fight. And when Nery could move around, and when Nery was in full 100% energy, he could do the things he wanted to do in that fight. But when he would hit those walls, and Crazy A would just say, okay, I'm just going to run through your stuff. I'm just going to apply my game now. I'm just going to put pressure on you. You could see Nery breaking. And at the point of when the fight came to an end, Nery didn't have legs anymore. He was shot. They were not going to come back. And he wasn't being able to take the body shot. But Crazy A is not a high ring IQ guy. He's not a technician. He wasn't a guy with, like he's going to follow a strict strategy. He's a guy that does the same thing, right? His mentality. And what got him to that point, to get near with no more legs, you have him shot and shot to the body, is what got him what got himself knocked out, which is the crazy thing. Is that he kept that mentality, and he kept that heart, and he kept that pressure going, and he never made Nery have to use his legs. He never made Nery have to turn and really expose where he was at. And he gave Nery, the only chance he really had at that point was punching between his shots. He gave him too much offense, and he allowed Nery to punch in between his shots, and he got knocked out cold. He got stopped and hurt because of it. Boxing's crazy. It's all strategy and mental, and you could be the willpower, right? Now willpower is good, but that can also hurt you. And that's the funny thing, is that Leigh Wood had the confidence from the left hook working earlier in the fight, and that's what ended up costing him. And Crazy A got to a position where he was looking like he was going to win the fight. But the thing that got him to that position was mentality, his heart, and his effort is what ended up getting him hurt and stopped. That's just the game. That's why it's beautiful. That's why we watch it, and that's why you learn. That's why you watch all these fights, and you can learn from them, right? And you learn those mistakes or those errors, or you can see like, oh, well, this guy's done this before, and that can happen again. And I have the example from these past fights, but we learn from all of these things. But just great weekend of fights, and all these people that speak negative of the sport, they will never give it just praise when it's great, and it was great this weekend. This has been the Ezra Walk and Talk. Even though I'm sitting and spitting, it's still the walk and talk, man. It still is. And please like and subscribe, share, all those good things. Leave comments, all those good things. Remember, I don't need production value. I just give me a camera, give me a mic, and let me talk. And gold comes out. It's a blessing. It's a gift. Sometimes even a curse. Peace.